Good job. Okay. I don't know how to start. I don't know ever how to start off any video that I do. I don't even know how to articulate myself on the telephone, let alone on an unprepared video. Um, but I'm just gonna start it off by saying that I was just thinking about it, and well, I was actually going on Facebook, and you know, I can definitely relate to the atheist agnostic position as far as not asserting that a God does or does not exist. Or I should say, asserting that no God has been proven to exist is the exact definition, because they do assert that. I can relate in that regard, but there are a lot of other areas that I feel like, um, I hate the term militant, because I feel like that puts it like a negative connotation on being vocal and expressive, and I don't like that. I think it's great to be militant in any way. If I were Christian, I would be a militant Christian. There'd be no reason not to be. I mean, if I devote my life to this and I believe it, I would have to be militant about it, right? I mean, so I actually believe in being militant or extreme. I do. Um, but as far as there are certain, because right now, or it started like I think last year, the whole photo sharing thing on Facebook, where it's like these phrases and quotes that are put in a photo with a picture, because there's something about a picture that just impacts a person more, and it just puts it into a better perspective. I mean, it paints a picture literally of the quote, of the phrase, um, and even if it's just the face of the person who said it, it just makes it more real and meaningful, like they just told you that quote. But anyway, I have seen a lot of those photos being shared among the religious and agnostic and atheist community. Basically, anything that deals any controversial anything, there is a lot of photo sharing going on. And a common phrase, quote, thought, opinion that many fellow freethinkers share is that, I can't word for word quote it, not verbatim, but it's a quote, and it's something like, it's always a picture of somebody praying, and then uh, it'll say like prayer in big letters, and then it'll say, um, a way to make you feel like you're helping when you're really doing nothing at all. That's basically the gist of it. And I've seen it in a lot of different variations, but essentially they're saying that, you know, prayer is unnecessary and lazy. There are a lot of occasions where, okay, thank you. There are a lot of occasions where I would say that prayer is kind of selfish, and more self-serving than anything. Hold on. But I mean, how do I word this? I'm so sorry this is so scattered. I was in the middle of doing dishes, and it just really, I was just thinking about those pictures, and my children are eating right now, so they're preoccupied, um, and my daughter's napping, which is not common, so uncommon. Um, how do I word it? Prayer. If you really, really, however you do it, if you get down on your knees, if you stand up, put your head down, if you look up to the sky, if you spin around and do a dance and shake glitter on your head while blowing kisses to the moon, or whatever, if you just think certain things while you're on a treadmill that are prayers, any concept of prayer that you could think of, I feel like the main reason that people do it is not something to mock. I is a very, how do I put it, like very, I'm pretty seasoned as far as my knowledge on, as far as my reasonings, I should say, not knowledge, on why I feel the way I do about religion and atheism and all that. And even that does not, it does not cause me to see prayer as something as negative. I feel like if right now I were a cave woman on this earth and I were completely unaware of history and humans and science and all of that and our nature and our need for a God and all that, I would still just have this kind of instinctive urge like I have before, out of the blue. I didn't even realize I was doing it, to kind of not so much surrender, but kind of just, it's almost like it doesn't have to be to a God, to the universe, to the earth, to this life that I am given. This sort of, when you're having a breakdown and you don't know where else to turn, and I don't see, or if you know somebody and you're praying for them in a loving way, if you really want them to be helped. I'm not talking about prayers for money or things or a better life or that you win a marathon or that you pass with school tests. I think that's absolutely repulsive that people would even have the nerve to pray for that when there are children who die every single day because they just don't even have water. I feel like people who pray for that kind of stuff they're just gone in the head, and no offense if you have ever prayed for that. Well, actually, yes, I'm offending you right now, and I'm sorry, but I feel like it's deserved, okay? I'm not gonna candy coat it. Uh-oh. They're done eating. But, usually they eat supervised, and I'm sitting there, like, showing them cards of, like, coins and stuff like that on it, but not right now. I had to get this out. Anyway, I guess the main thing I'm trying to say, because I know I'm about to get cut off, is that, I get kind of angry when people who otherwise are on the same page with me, spiritually speaking and all that, want to do things that I feel like are unnecessary and kind of wrong, like mocking prayer. I mean, out of all the things to mock about religion, I just don't see the point in mocking prayer, because you can still have prayer without religion. You don't have to be praying to a specific anything. I feel like it's just a very humble act. It's usually a selfless act, like I said, unless it's asking for ridiculous things, petty things. And I feel like that distracts from the real issues of religion. I really do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody, if I wanted to pray, if I mean, I've got some of the sweetest friends. They're Christians and Jewish and Catholic and Muslim, and I can't think of a time that they didn't pray. Well, no, there are. So now that's where, if I was to say anything about prayer in a negative way, it would be the people who pray because they're trying to get brownie points from their God. The people who pray because they think God's watching them and is impressed by them, that is disgusting. But there are a lot of other issues with those people. But, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like prayer is too broad. It's too much of a sensitive subject to me, and it's too circumstantial. Like, you never know. And people from all walks of life pray. And there are people, I mean, it's been proven to really help you, like almost like a therapeutic type way to convince you. It gives you hope. It gives you hope. And when you feel like you've made a request, no matter what that request is, and you've made that request to something that's bigger than you, even if you're not sure what that something is, even if you're not sure that there is something, when you've just done that and you've done it from the heart, then it gives you a hope that you would otherwise not have. And I'm sorry, but there are many people I know who are kind of reliant on that kind of hope to still make it through their day. And maybe it's become an obsession, I don't know, but I just feel like out of all the harmful aspects of religion, I feel like prayer is completely harmless. I mean, granted, there are times when wealthy Christians, I'm going to say Christians are the majority in this country, I'm sorry, that's just the reality of it. There are many occasions where very wealthy Christians, instead of just sharing some of their riches like they're supposed to help these poor people they pray for, they just pray. Now, of course, like I said, there are always exceptions to how I feel. I'm not ever really just solid in anything. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I know I'm gonna get like attacked for defending prayer, because uh, scientifically or logically speaking, it does kind of defy logic when you consider all the suffering in the world and all that. It doesn't just defy logic; it defies moral, um, just common sense morals. It does, because no God is going to help you when there are little children getting raped with poles and stuffed in suitcases alive and thrown in rivers with their parents to forever suffer their entire lives in sadness. Knowing that things like that go on every day, I couldn't possibly really, I couldn't possibly uh, be consistent with prayer, but once again, I just don't see it as something that bears um, mockery. I just don't. It distracts from, like I said, it distracts from the real issues. And I always feel like, because a lot of people talk about banning religions completely and wiping them off and people never even knowing about them, I feel like it teaches us a lot about ourselves, the human condition, our history, how we think, how we come to the conclusions that we do, and how our surroundings and the era that we're in can drastically affect everything from our spiritual beliefs to just to everything. And where was I going with this? I'm sorry, I didn't sleep at all last night. And no, I don't mean like, I'm not saying I didn't sleep at all when really I got like 3 or 4 hours. No, my husband can tell you I did not even go to the bed. And so I'm kind of out of it. But I really don't remember where I was going with that. But I think I've covered everything that was going through my head when I was scrubbing the dishes.
Who is that?
Me, I'm making a video.
Hi.
Oh, okay, she's camera shy. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and, yeah. Ooh, my face looks fat. Your face is beautiful.